First time to the national championships for you. It's got to be fun. It's got to be exciting. Is it a little bit intimidating?
It is really intimidating. I mean, I'm like at the bottom for making it in, so I'm just hoping to do better than I did at New England's.
What's it take to do better than you did at New England's?
A lot of focus, concentration, and just wanting to do better.
School year's just about over. Does it almost make it easier to focus on this one thing? You're not worried about schoolwork, you're not worried about a variety of other things?
Yes, definitely. A lot less stressed out.
As much as it's a little intimidating, it's got to be fun, it's got to be exciting. Did it come as a little bit of a surprise?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I was really surprised that I broke 14 seconds.
Why were you able to break 14 seconds?
Well, the girl from URI was, she was really fast, so she pushed me, and then I just really wanted to win, and I tried really hard.
Is this a case now? I mean, we talk so much during the year about times. This comes down to one race. It's not specifically about the time. It's about beating other people. Mm-hmm. Does that change one's approach? Because it's not about personal best, it's about winning.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah.
Do you like it that way?
Yeah, it makes it a lot funner, and you have to work harder.
What's your mindset when you prepare for a race? What's your mindset when you're in the blocks?
You just gotta stay really focused and only think about the race, and you can't think about anything else.
Is that easy? Is it hard to do that?
I think it's easy to stay focused. You just gotta keep your mind on the track, and that's about it.
It's not the longest race. Is it about pure speed, or is there more strategy than that to it?
Speed is very important, and then there's a lot of strategy going into the blocks, and then your form over the hurdles is very important also.
How much of this is about mental toughness?
Everything, all of it, pretty much.
We know what you do to get ready physically. We understand, we know the drills, the workouts, so on. What do you do to get ready mentally?
Mentally, the night before I usually lay in bed and focus on the race. I picture myself in the blocks and getting ready to go and going through the hurdles.
I guess the last thing I have to say is good luck and have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is it a little bit intimidating? Is it a lot of fun? What's one's approach to it?
It's a little bit of both. Like, there's a lot of Olympic hopefuls out there that's ready to run fast, but it's very exciting to know that you're on the same level as these guys. So you want to go in ready to win. Doesn't matter who's on the line next to you, just going in.
You feel ready to win?
I feel ready to win. I mean, we've come so far this season. We've battled through injuries, so we're just going to go out and lay everything on the track.
Now, so much of track and field is individual, but yet this is an event. It's a relay. It's a team. Is it about pure speed, or is it about a lot more to be successful?
Well, there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. You want to bide your time in a relay sometimes. You don't want to just go all out and burn yourself out. It's a long race. You want to strategize a little bit.
It's teamwork also. You've got the exchange of the baton.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, things can unfortunately disappear in a second if that's not handled well.
Yeah, like we have to practice our baton handoffs every day. Make sure we get them right, because handoffs could take off a whole tenth of a second, even a whole second if they're done correctly.
Now, for you, as much as it's a long season, the idea of the season is to be at your best at the most important time. In other words, to run your best in what is, in effect, the last race.
Yeah.
Are you where you want to be? Do you feel good about where you are right now?
Well, I feel good. I think we've done our training this whole year to prepare for this moment right now. And our coach Mike, he's made sure that we're peaking at this right moment. Even the training we're doing this week, it's just getting us all ready for the nationals.
So you mentioned earlier strategy. It's not a long race, but is there a lot of strategy in how one runs each leg?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of strategy that goes into it, because after the first leg, everybody bunches together. So you don't want to go out into the second lane, and because technically if you run in the second lane, you're running more a longer race than the actual people that are in lane one. So you don't want to get yourself into traffic or into trouble.
All right. I guess the last thing to say is good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to nationals. It's
Yes.
not the first time. I suspect it won't be the last time. Is each time special? Is each time different?
Each time is definitely special. It's another opportunity each time to kind of rate myself of how well my season's been going. So each time is definitely like a nice experience.
Does one learn a lot with each experience? Are there things that went on in your previous times to nationals that you can lean on that help you get prepared for this time?
Experience is definitely a good teacher. I think when I went the first time, I was really nervous. It was my first time, and I didn't really know what to expect. So this time around, I kind of know what to anticipate and how to just get myself prepared and stay relaxed the whole time, so that I don't get too antsy.
Can you win a national championship?
I think so.
What's it take to win a national championship?
It takes, for me, I think it'll take a lot of dedication and a lot more hard work than I've been putting in. As far as like the distance-wise, over 50 feet will definitely get me as a national champion. But I think nothing matters before you get there. Everything happens when you get there. So all the work that I've been doing has to be put into when I get there.
How much of this is physical and technique and all that, and how much of it simply is mental toughness?
I think it's equal. A lot of it is, each meet you see your competitors, and I guess everybody kind of sizes everybody up and see who can do what. So it's about I think the mental toughness of it is just knowing that they work just as hard as you do, and they do some of the same workouts you do. So, and they're here for the same reason you are, which is to compete and to win. And then the technique is very important, because that's something that me and Coach Barb drill about all the time, is technique, and make sure I have the right things down and doing the right things to get that big throw out.
When we talk about the big throw, and to some extent it's about how far you're going to throw it, but to some extent it's not so much whether it's a personal best, it's just throwing it farther than anybody else.
Yeah.
Is it a different approach in that rather than competing against yourself and what you're capable of, you're competing, in this case, specifically against other individuals? They may have a good day, they may not have a good day, but it's you against them.
Yeah, each meet you just try to put up your best effort, whatever that may be. Going into nationals, no matter what they throw, I still want to throw my best. So even if, I come up short, like in the rankings wise, if I still have like a pretty good throwing day, like a 48, 49 footer, to me that's still an accomplishment, because I went out there and I did what I was supposed to do.
You said 50 feet would win it, you think? Are you capable of 50 feet? Are you in your development, do you feel you're close to that at this point?
I feel like I'm very close. I feel like me and Barb have been putting in a lot of work, and excuse me, a lot has been going into like everything that I've been doing. So I believe I have 50 feet in me. I definitely do.
Now, last thing I have to say is have fun and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. NCAA Championships. Is that kind of exciting to think about?
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's kind of nerve-wracking to know that you're not competing against yourself. Does it make sense?
No, it does make sense. I realize through much of the year, everything you do is about time.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not about the time. It's about beating the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you almost like that approach better?
Yeah, I feel like I do a lot better when I have someone to compete with, and hopefully with that comes I can go really fast while I beat them, hopefully.
What's it take to get a national championship?
What does it take? I believe hard work, dedication, knowing why I'm going to nationals, and my purpose of going, which is to do the best that I can. I believe that's what it takes.
You're a little bit surprised. Did you expect to be going?
No, not really. In the beginning of the season, no, because I was I did awful in the 400 hurdles, my first race. It was awful. I was tired halfway through. I didn't expect that. I was I don't believe you guys. I don't think I'm going to do anything. But then, I guess I did. Kind of surprised myself.
What did it take? Why do you think you ended up getting the time needed to go? Is there something that you did during the season? Is something that just fell into place?
Yeah, I kind of focused on myself and realized I'm not like every other runner. I can't just go out really, really fast and expect to maintain the last 200. So what I did was just focus on how I know I can run a race. I know that I can be very consistent, and that's what I've been doing recently. But then my last 200, which is why I feel I've been able to run the pace that I've been running, or the time that I've been running.
Is this race about speed, or it's not 100? It's not a pure speed race. How much strategy is involved?
Oh, well, when it comes down to the race, my mind just blanks out. I feel like whatever I've been training for throughout the whole season and what it comes down to. During the race, I don't think I just run, and I think that everything just happens. It just happens. I don't know, but all I know is that the last 100 is what you have to fight for, and that's what I've been fighting for, is that last 100, because it's do or die. Anyone can do whatever they want and just outpass you, but if you just maintain the last 100, you'll do really, really well.
How much of this is about mental toughness?
Mental toughness, yikes. That's a good question. It's a really big thing, because if you go in saying I'm not gonna do well, then you probably won't do well. So I feel like I have to like tell myself I will do well, I will be great, I'll be awesome. I just have to push it, give it my all.
Kind of excited about all of this?
I am pretty excited. It hasn't hit me yet that I'm going to nationals. Because it's kind of weird, because last like indoor nationals I went as an alternate, and to actually go to nationals and not be an alternate but like be on my own team, it's kind of not my own team but be like an individual running, is kind of interesting.
Nervous? A little nervous?
I think I'll be nervous once we get on the plane. I think that's when the nerves are going to hit me, but not yet, no.
All right. Have fun, and then good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm nervous, thanks.
NCAA Championships is not the first time for you. You've been there before. Is it still special? Is it still different?
Yeah, I mean, it's always special, it's always different, it's always in a different place, always different athletes, and I mean, it's my last one, so it's actually an extra special one.
Is it more about it being the last one than it being the NCAA Championships?
No, I mean, I can't try and do anything different. I have to run my race. I can't try to all of a sudden be a hero and run the race, so it's the championships, and it's my last one, so make it count, but at the same time be smart about it.
Feel as though you're ready?
Yeah, definitely ready. More ready than I've ever been before.
Why? In what way more ready?
Well, this year has been more just peaking out, because I know this is my last year. So I'm not thinking about next year at all. It's just getting ready for the meet this weekend.
Now, in this particular case, you're in two events, and neither of them are short, 1,500 meters, 5,000 meters. The finals in each, same day, a few hours apart. Does that make it more challenging in that you've got both events, or is there one event that is simply your focus?
Well, you always want to focus on your first event and just worry about that. If you're thinking about the next one, you're going to hold something back, and you don't want to do that, because, I mean, everyone there is just as good as you, if not better, so you have to focus on the current event and not worry about what's coming up in the future.
Is there an event, do you enjoy one more than the other?
Well, I mean, the 5K is pretty long, so I'd have to say the 1,500 I enjoy a little more.
In this particular case, it's not about time. If you approach the race more, it's about the competition, who you're running against. It's about winning rather than a specific time.
Yeah, I mean, with me, I always try to stay extremely relaxed, or at least the first half of the race. Usually, if you ever watch my races, I'll go out and last in the very beginning and then try to work my way up through the pack. So you don't want to get stuck in the pack and do more work than you need to. You want to just kind of relax and then wait till it's time to really go and hammer it out after that.
Have confidence in your ability to finish?
I've never been a particularly fast person, but over the past year or so I've been working on it, and I feel like I'm a lot more confident with it than I've ever have been.
Noting that, as I say, you've been there before. Some of those that are traveling out, this will be their first time. Is there any advice you give them about this and this particular environment?
Well, a lot of the guys who go out there for the first time get really nervous, and they try to go out too hard and end up crashing in the end. So my advice is always just to relax, don't worry about it. I mean, nationals is so much more about like the individual more than the team now. So think about it this way: if you mess up, it's only messing up for you, really. It's not really for the whole team anymore. So relax, do what you have to do, and go for the win.
When you're at the start line and you look around, are you going to see a lot of familiar faces?
Oh yeah, I mean, there are guys who have been in the race with me ever since I was freshman, and back and forth we've been. Sometimes they're beating me more, I'm beating them more, so there's a couple guys I'm familiar with.
Can you kind of look at your competition and know what kind of race it's going to be, know who's going to be tough at particular points, who's going to have vulnerabilities at certain points?
Yeah, there's always the same people who usually go out harder in the race and lead the first half, and then like the people who will pick it up the second half. So you know who's who and who's going to do what when, so you can always prepare for it.
I suppose this is a silly question, and it's not meant to be, knowing that in sports these days there's a lot of trash talk. Is there some psychological warfare between you guys at the start line or in the preparation? Is there trash talking?
Not really. It's actually really friendly between competitors, at least in my events. Like, we talk to each other, we joke about it, and then during the race, I mean, we're not talking to each other, but it's usually more like in the championship races, not so much, but in the other races, like, we'll talk about how fast we're going to go out and what we're going to do during the race, just to help each other out. And in the championship races, you obviously don't do that, but at the same time, there's no real trying to break people. You're just trying to run your own race and do the best you can.
After you run the 1500, you got a couple of hours, then the 5000. How difficult is the back end of that double?
Yeah, I mean, having the longer event second can be really rough because you've taken a lot out of your legs already, but you just can't think about it. You got to take it one race at a time and just be prepared for each one.
Neither of these races are short. Is this about strategy? Is it about simply physically who's better, or is there a lot of this about mental toughness?
Well, a lot of distance running is mental toughness, so physically, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are ready for it because this could be our 4th, 5th year, so we have a lot of miles under our belt. But mentally being tough is the biggest thing, I think. Being able to focus in for that long in that amount of time and hold your stride and not let yourself get fatigued.
And I guess finally, as much as it's about a race and a championship, do you also find time to just enjoy being there, have fun? In this case, out in Colorado in Pueblo?
I would say the majority of the trip is being there and having fun, just hanging out with your teammates, playing cards all night, watching TV and movies and stuff. And then once the race comes, that's when you have to buckle down and be serious. But up till that, it's all fun and games.
Who's the best card player on the team?
Me.
All right. Again, good luck, have fun, and thank you.
No problem.